April 21st, Mr. Depp testified in this case about Hicksville, didn't he?
I wasn't here.
And in fact, you tweeted in response to the umbrella guy on April 21, 22, quote, "That never happened. I was with them all night. Amber was the one acting all jealous and crazy." Do you recall writing that?
I do recall writing that.
Okay, Regatta, he's an interesting witness because he wasn't planned. He got himself involved in this case by tweeting in response to the Hicksville testimony that came up during this trial. It was called by Johnny Depp's side, and as we said, he testified that he observed Amber Heard being emotionally abusive. There was an objection there, but testified ultimately that there was no damage or significant damage to the trailer. Do you think he's not credible? Do you think he's biased?
So I thought that the cross-examination of him was not helpful to Ms. Heard's side. They seem to be sort of attacking his tweets or his associations on Twitter, which just seemed really petty and strange. The important part was what happened that night and the actual documents. $62 worth of damage on a light sconce. These are the facts that are important, not if he likes Johnny Depp, if he cares about Johnny Depp, if he follows people on Twitter. I don't care. What we want to see are documented facts. We want to see exactly what happened factually. And factually, there was not the argument that Amber Heard described, the destruction, at least, that she described. They could have had this argument, it's possible, this very, very kind of wild story that she tells, it's possible, but when it comes down to actual facts, documents, $62 worth of damage on a light sconce.
Well, Dr. Pearson, here's the thing. We have about 90 seconds left. The question, of course, is did you get the sense that there were witnesses who took the stand to get their 15 minutes of fame? They wanted to testify in a really big public trial. Experts get to testify in a big public trial. They do a great job. They get called back by another person in another case, or they're just so loyal to Johnny or Amber, they're going to say whatever they need to help them. Did you get that sense throughout this trial?
You know, there were times when I got that sense, but it wasn't with this witness. This guy seemed to be just an average person who knew some information. And one of the things that's important to understand is that people who are normal, average people, they remember meeting movie stars. They remember those circumstances in detail.
That is true. And especially, I will say that if you're a witness to this kind of altercation or this kind of problems or these kind of verbal altercations or destruction, you're going to kind of remember these details. But I will tell you, this case, unlike any other. So these are the questions we have to ask about if you want your 15 minutes of fame, because legitimately, I've never seen a trial as big as this. Maybe O.J. Simpson, but this is such a massive ordeal. So clearly, people have a lot of eyeballs on it. Regatta Sapling, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you taking the time. Dr. Pearson is going to stick with me for one more hour. We have so much more to talk about in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and when we come back, we're going to get a live update from Fairfax County, Virginia on what is happening on the ground. We'll be back. And welcome back to the Morning Docket, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and thanks for joining us for our continued live coverage of the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial. We are currently in verdict watch. This is the case where Johnny Depp is suing his ex-wife for $50 million, claiming that she defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed piece. She has countersued him for defamation based on allegations that he and his attorney Adam Waldman orchestrated a public smear campaign against her in the media. We go right now live to Fairfax County, Virginia, where our reporter Anjanette Levy is on the ground with us once again. Anjanette, good to see you again. What can you tell us about where we are in the deliberations process and what you're observing also on the outside of that courthouse?
Well, good morning again to you, Jesse. You know, we are about 2 hours into deliberations for today, so we're at about 4 hours total. And wouldn't we love to know what's going on in that deliberation room? We can tell you that the jury obviously has the jury instructions, right? This is their roadmap, telling them how they are to consider this case and consider the law. And the other things they have to answer, all of these questions about the claims of both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that they have to consider. We're going to get into more of that during the lunch show coming up during the noon hour. But we know that Judge Askarati sent back a laptop to the deliberation room with them. She had said she was going to do that. It was going to be a clean laptop that included all of the exhibits, audio recordings, text messages, things like that, that were presented as evidence in this case. So we can tell you there are 5 men on the jury, 2 women. We know that a few of those men are younger Asian men, and I was actually talking with a woman who's lived here in Fairfax County for a really long time the other day, and she was just kind of really and she was an Asian woman, probably a middle-aged Asian woman, and she was like, wow, I'm really shocked by the composition of the jury. She just didn't feel like it was representative of the population, because that's what juries are supposed to be, right? They're supposed to be representative of the population, but that doesn't always happen. So it's an interesting composition, these jury members for Fairfax County. So that's where we stand right now. A lot of media here, international media. A lot of these people were here in the beginning. Now they're showing back up. Some of the news networks in the United States are here as well. Documentary film crews are here as well. And, you know, it's just an interesting scene. The line, you know, the line for the wristbands, nowhere near what it's been the last several weeks. I think there might have been 10 people here when I got here before 7 this morning. So a much calmer scene. The lawyers for Johnny Depp were here earlier. They came in, they left. We haven't seen Amber Heard's lawyers just yet, but I'm assuming they are nearby, just in case the jury has any questions.
I said this to Stacey Delicat earlier, that as soon as there is the announcement of a verdict, Anjanette, that scene behind you may change.
Yes.
What do we expect when we
Right.
get, how does it work in terms of the announcement of a verdict, what that's going to look like? Again, because we're anticipating we could get it today, we could get it tomorrow. We're all watching.
Yeah, I mean, we're all waiting and watching. I mean, this is what we do, right? We wait for verdicts. Sometimes I feel like we're pretty good at guessing when it could come. Other times, you know, it can be a surprise. I mean, the jury sat here for 6 weeks and listened to testimony. They listened to testimony from both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. There's a lot to consider, and they took a lot of notes. Judge Askarati said the other day, she gave this as an example, that it would be an hour's notice. And the example she gave was that should the verdict come in, say at 10:20 in the morning, she said it would be at the top of an hour from the top of the hour. So the example she gave was 10:20 a.m. They say they have a verdict. Then move up to 11 a.m. and then the verdict would be read at noon. So it's an hour's notice from the top of the hour. So that's how she explained it.
All right, Anjanette Levy, thank you so much for this great reporting as always. And I know that if we get any update on that ground, you'll report back to us as soon as we can. Thank you so much, Anjanette.
Definitely.
All right, we're going to continue following some of the testimony that you might have missed in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. And we focused on some key players. We focused on Johnny Depp. We focused on Amber Heard. We focused on corroborating witnesses. But now we have to get into some of the most interesting pivotal evidence, the audio tapes. This was a couple that would record each other. And those audio tapes told a lot about what was happening behind the scenes. So I want to go right now to one portion of an audio tape. And this is where both sides attempted to use them to their advantage. Take a look.
It's not to get you mad. It's just to get out of a bad situation while it's happening before it gets worse. In Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms I went
to avoid talking to me, to avoid working it out. That's
to escape the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution.
No.
You escape the solution.
No.
You escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man. And when it gets too hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. I go into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Bam, 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 here you come. I come out. Fight, crazy, escalated. I split again, I go to another bathroom or a bedroom or something. Knock, 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 bang, bang, bang. You kept coming to get me. I'm not the one who throws pots and
those are different. That's different.
Else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs.
I'm giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door based on whether I throw pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
No, I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who...
All right, let's bring in legal analyst Dr. Tracy Pearson and also attorney Sharina Enke-Kroll. Great to have you both here. Sharina, welcome to the program. We'll start with you. When you hear those audio tapes, how devastating is it for Amber Heard? Because, you know, it doesn't look like Johnny Depp's the aggressor in that case.
Absolutely. Throughout the entire trial, I thought that Amber was always looking for a partner who would basically treat her the way she was treating Johnny Depp. She wanted to scream, she wanted to yell. She has that passionate way of going about fights, I guess. But Johnny Depp simply was not giving her that passionate sort of comeback. He wanted to go to another room. He wanted to go lock himself in a bathroom, which was completely the opposite of what she seems to have been looking for. She wanted that combustion. She wanted him to come back at her with some fiery words, screaming and yelling just like she was. But, you know, looking at everything, all the testimonies, all of her, all of the things that she said during the trial, it really does not look good for her because she tried to even make a distinction between throwing punches versus hitting. I don't know how well the jury is gonna, you know, look into that particular statement, but I thought that was a really big one as well. So yeah, it just remains to be seen. But for me, looking at all of this, it's not looking good for Amber Heard.
But I said that these audio tapes could be used by both sides to their advantage. And there's another audio tape that I want to play. This is a very disturbing one. This was towards the end of their relationship. This is after Heard had already filed for the TRO. They met up in a hotel room. And in this audio tape, you can hear Johnny Depp threatening to cut himself. Let's play it.
This is really pretty.
Thanks. You want to cut me somewhere?
Do I want to cut you?
Yeah, you want an arm, you want a chest? What do you want? What do you want the scar? What do you want? Cut me.
Just don't cut your skin. Please do not cut your skin. Please don't.
Cut me.
Why would I do that?
It's easy.
Don't. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. Please don't. Please don't cut yourself. You don't need to cut yourself.
I need to do what I want.
I know it hurts. I feel the same.
Come here. I want your mark.
You have it.
No, you don't.
You have it.
They're gone. No, thank you. No, thank you. There's sperm on the pillows. Come here. If you don't, I will. Come here. Elliot Spitzer will answer for this because he's a
Don't. Please don't. Don't cut yourself. Please don't cut yourself.
cut.
Please don't cut yourself. Please, I know it
You
hurts.
do it.
I would never cut you.
Come here.
I would never do that to you. Please don't.
Come on, pussy.
Please.
Yeah, you hate me. Come on. Come here. So you talk.
Come here. It's really dull.
I have to use the sharp part.
Don't do that. Don't.
You tell me.
Please don't do that. Put the knife down. Just put the f***ing knife down. Don't do that. Do not do that, Johnny. Please,
I want to look at you.
you're gonna hurt yourself. Please
I want to
stop.
look at you.
I know you're in pain. Wait. Stop. Please
There's a
don't.
way for the pain to go away.
It's not that. It doesn't make it go away, trust me.
You don't fucking know.
I do know. It doesn't make it go away.
Really?
Did it make it go away?
Yeah.
It did? Please don't do that, okay?
Dr. Pearson, what do you make of that audio? Because for me, when I listen to it, I know why his side, Amber Heard's side, has brought that in. It shows him to be, violent and unstable. And also, if there's the question of did he cut his own finger in Australia in 2015, when you have an audio tape of him, seemingly cutting himself, it maybe makes that more likely. But then again, I'm not sure. What do you make away from it?
I think we need to look at context. This was after the TRO was granted. This is after his life was devastated and he was at the lowest point of his life. So when I hear that, what I hear is somebody talking who is profoundly mentally injured at that point, and is at the lowest point and just wants to make the pain go away. So, I don't know that necessarily helps Amber Heard.
Sharina, how much do you think the jury is going to be listening back to these audio tapes, the videotape of him destroying the kitchen? They're going to have access to all this material. They can watch it as many times as they want. Do you think it's going to play a central role in their deliberations?
At the end of the day, the jury is consisted of people, right? They're everyday people just like us. Some things from the trial have stuck out to each of them. It's individualized. They remember certain parts of the trial that they really may have reacted to, that stuck into their psyche. So I think people have already mostly, for the most part, made up their mind. Not people, the jury, but they will be going back to certain evidence that is still available for them to revisit. But if they're going to go over everything, every single little detail, I don't foresee that happening.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get into more evidence in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So we're talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. Currently in verdict watch, the jury has continued their deliberations today. They have now been deliberating for over 4 hours in total, to a little over 2 hours today, 2 hours on Friday. And we're going through some of the key testimony that you might have missed. And that includes when Johnny Depp took the stand. What we're going to do is we're going to play you first when he initially took the stand and when he came back later on in the trial. Here was when he first took the stand, and it was
Bailey was quoted, which was very odd to me, as I have had many creative conversations with the Disney people, even to the point of where they were asking me to come back and write Pirates. Sorry.
What, to your understanding, is the status of Pirates 6?
At this point?
Yes.
I believe it's in dangle mode.
Mr. Depp, have you ever physically assaulted Miss Heard?
Never.
Have you ever sexually assaulted Miss Heard?
Never. Certainly not.
What have you lost as a result of Miss Heard making these allegations against you?
Nothing less than everything. Nothing less than everything.
So, Sharina, overall, Johnny Depp took the stand, told his truth, or what he was saying was his truth. Overall, how do you think he did on the stand? Because I know the jury's going to be thinking